In this video, we're going to talk about Spawn's flaming sign of terror and Spawn's message to the mob, the CIA, the police, and everybody involved in the shenanigans with Terry Fitzgerald. If you've been following the previous issues, hey, then you'll know exactly what's going on. If you haven't, I'll do my best to fill you in, but feel free to check out the previous issues, Spawn issue 21, 22, 23, and this one to get caught up in all of it. But alright, my brothers and my sisters from another mister, this video is a comic book review of Spawn issue number 24, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. So we begin this issue with the narrative of Sam Burke and Twitch. It's been a very strange night for Detective Sam Burke and Twitch. While hunting Spawn, who's responsible for temporarily getting Sam and Twitch suspended from the police force, they found themselves in a much bigger scenario. So they later caught up with Spawn and Terry Fitzgerald, but they don't know that that's Terry Fitzgerald at the time after their battle with Overkill in the previous issue. So Sam Burke stares down at the two and he's just looking at him like, man, this is gonna be some paperwork and it's gonna kill me. But you know what? It's obvious that he'll soon catch on to the entire situation. So kneeling over Spawn's limp form, Twitch checks out for any signs of life. It'll be a shame to have to come this far and end up with no answers tonight. So the search has become way too personal to go unresolved. So Twitch decides maybe I'll try some CPR. So as the mask is drawn back, revealing what's left of the man called Al Simmons, he's like, man, yo, that is one fugly mofo. I ain't giving that boy no CPR, nada. So they also wonder naturally what the hell happened to him. So they can tell that his face has been burnt off. And maybe what he's been telling them the previous issue maybe holds some truth, maybe holds some merit. But Terry Fitzgerald rolls over. The detectives assume that he's a businessman, and in fact, he works as a linguist for the CIA, but they don't know that. So the detectives have been so engrossed with Spawn, they momentarily forget about Terry Fitzgerald. But remember, they don't know that he's Terry Fitzgerald or that he's with the CIA. So Sam is like, all right, buddy, listen up. I got about 200 questions I need answered. Like, what's going on here? Let's start with number one. So after a few minutes, a patrol car happens to be upon the scene. So Sam then radios in to the nearest precinct. So he tells them everything they have on Fitzgerald. They tell him that he's with the CIA, but they ain't got no wallet to prove it. So they hang up the phone. The boys in the precinct are like, all right, the couple detectives from downtown, they say they got Fitzgerald, that guy we've all been looking for, but they don't seem to know anything about him murdering the feds. That's in the previous couple issues. So they want to get all the units down there and take over the scene and nail that traitor and put an end to him. So meanwhile, at Jason Wynn's office at the Omni Intelligence Agency, the United States Security Group, Jason Wynn tells his group that they found Fitzgerald down near Penn Station, and I want our people down there now. Once they're there, full rank, he's ours, that ass is mine. This time, I'ma fry that son of a bitch. Make sure that the area is so tight that the wind can't even get out. Eliminate the problem. So he knows, Jason Wynn knows that Fitzgerald is no traitor, but circumstances made him the logical suspect because, you know, Jason Wynn has some answer to do, and that was answer the previous issues where weapons were missing, and now Jason Wynn needs to fall out, and also Jason Wynn's disappearances as the Redeemer, but hey, like I said, that's previous issues right there. So rather than Jason Wynn admit his error, Wynn continues to conduct a brutal investigation. Police, FBI, all are called into the play. So Wynn's callousness is a byproduct of the years of unquestioned authority. So as a supreme director of US intelligence agencies, he has single-handedly ended wars, even began some. So Terry Fitzgerald is only one man. His life means nothing to a dictator whose effectiveness is being questioned. A quick resolution to all this fiasco will restore his preeminence and his dominance in the global community and in the White House, but that would leave something else in the aftermath. Wanda and their daughter Cyan, Terry's daughter. So Wanda Blake, wife of a man, Terry Fitzgerald, who is now accused also murdering 2 FBI agents. Tears falls down as she prays that this is just some demented nightmare. But no, it is very real. The life that she and Terry had built has crashed down around her. As Wanda now holds tight their daughter Cyan, she works to push past the shock and focus on what's in her heart. Hope and love. She prays to God that this will all be over with soon because, I mean, what else can she do at this point? So there's agents posted outside of their house, maybe to protect her, but no, I seriously doubt they're gonna protect her. But you know what? Remember in the previous issues, the mob told Terry that meet him in the alley because we got your wife and kids, but that was all a bluff. So now back to Terry Fitzgerald and Sam Burke. And Terry wakes up and tells him, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't know where that freaking robot went. He doesn't recall any of it. Your guess is as good as mine. I was just trying to stay alive. Like that song. Staying alive. Anyways, okay, that was kind of cheesy, but Terry tells him he was expecting to be meeting the couple mafia punks over here. Yeah, says Sam. Let's see if I got this straight. You're a G-man who's expecting a meeting with a mob. They sucker you here, send you their 10-ton cyber hitman instead, and something doesn't add up over here. You know, this is all bull jive. So now we got a dead hero over here, and we don't know who he is, but he seems to have a personal reason to try to save your ass. All this comes as a complete surprise to you. On top of all this, you claim you have lost your identification with the CIA. I don't know, Twitch. What do you think? Because Sam finds this awfully suspicious. But Twitch is like, I don't know, there seems to be some merit to what he's saying, sir. So these bums right here, they line up outside. They're like, oh man, this is real bad. We got to get some help over here. So all this, even the homeless are filling in on this and they're trying to help out. And they're all drawn into the web of activity surrounding Spawn because Spawn acted without thought or consequences. Because this all started with the dead child pedophile, Billy Kincaid, a few stolen guns, and a couple of missing files. These events form an obvious pattern here, but they're all trying to figure it all out. So faced with odd situations, Spawn did what he had to do. Unfortunately for the fallout from his actions, this has landed squarely on his shoulders and his best friend of a lifetime ago, and they're all trying to figure it out. Sam tells Terry, you should settle down here, buddy. The cops will be here soon. Terry is like, you guys have to believe me. I don't have time. The mafia's got my wife and kid. I gotta get out of here. Hey, listen here, buddy. I don't care what your problem is. You ain't going nowhere, says Sam. Back off, Twitch. I got this. You know, Sam's pride is kicking in. And Terry, acting like a very desperate man, is like, are you deaf? Didn't you hear what I said? It's the mob, you idiot. They'll kill them. Oh no, so he gets away. Twitch tells him to freeze. They got my wife and kid. You gotta shoot me down, bruh. And Sam is like, oh man, he senses that Wanda's in danger, but he doesn't know that it's a bluff. So back in the office of New York Mafia Vito Gravano, tensions are running high. Though he lived through this ordeal before, and because this took place after the Violator issue, which we did cover, things are not all satisfactory to him. And now the heat's been churned up. Two of his boys, taken by surprise, shot and killed a pair of federal agents on the front lawn of Terry Fitzgerald's house. So they're all in this entanglement, kind of speak. So Vito tells his henchmen, I sent Frankie and Tommy back to the murder scene. They're making sure we get all this cleaned up. Make sure Overkill did his job. I need Fitzgerald dead. The cartel has been. And before you can finish the sentence, ring. The phone rings. Vito picks up the phone. Yeah, this is Gina. We just called a meeting for next Thursday. Some of the members have requested a progress report. There's been unhappiness with your recent dealings. You got 6 days to correct this. You understand? We're counting on you, Vito. And Gravano is not used to being on the receiving end of threats, nor will he allow it to continue. He's pissed, and he tells his men, send someone over to Gino's restaurant. Take his top chef and slice his hand off. Gino needs to understand who runs this show. In the meantime, I want Fitzgerald's body. Tell Overkill to leave enough of it intact for me to take it to my meeting on Thursday. That should shut him up. But unfortunately for Gravano, this may not be as easy as it seems, because right now Fitzgerald is a very hot commodity. The police believe he's in possession of a stolen experimental firearms. The FBI suspect him of killing 2 of their agents, even though it was the mob, but they suspect him of doing that. The CIA is prodding all over this, and that's at Wynn's request. So Jason Wynn is kind of like, we're going to blame, Terry Fitzgerald for all this. Meanwhile, the FBI and the mob are all up in the mix too. So it's all messed up, and it's all messy, and it's nasty. In this panel right here, Terry Fitzgerald is running away from Sam, and Sam is not in the best cardio shape, but his partner Twitch is. Twitch intercepts him from the corner, gunpoint, tells him it's over with, and Terry slumps to the ground, a broken man, putting his head in his hands. He begins to sob. He doesn't know why any of this is happening. Things are so out of whack, but even more importantly, he has failed his wife and child. That is more than a man can bear. And Sam tells her, I'm getting sick and tired of this. We're going back to your dead hero buddy. I'll bring the local cops up and bring them up to date, but we're gonna get to the bottom of this, alright? So an empty can gets thrown at Sam's head. Get out of here, you bum. This is our alley. So they stand poised and ready to take control, ready to defend their fallen King Spawn. I wonder if that's a foreshadow of the King Spawn series, but anyways. So cans, bottles, wood, whatever, they pelt the two detectives relentlessly. Terry sees another opportunity to flee, but as he flees, distance from the police, he's spotted by the first group on the scene, the CIA. And guess what? The proverbial pedal to the metal is put to the test. Terry turns to run, but it's too late. He stands frozen, staring at the headlights like a wild animal on the highway. He is stuck. He knows his luck has finally ran out. The pair didn't know what hit him at first. They hit something at 67 miles an hour. Why not just make it 69? So the engine rammed into the passengers, shattering their legs. The car will look like as if it impacted a steel pole, but for all intents and purposes, it kinda did. And that pole was Al Simmons. Al Simmons employs powers derived from the pits of hell. Once in a while, he's glad to use it. He knew that increasing his density was gonna drain some irreplaceable energy, but he gladly and willingly did it to save his friend's life. So as the horde converges upon him, Spawn stands and stares. His CIA background informs his decision, when to react and how. He has several targets tonight and one purpose. Until now, he tried hiding himself from the public. And that hasn't worked very well because guess what? People have been getting into some shit because of it. So he needs a new tactic. And that tactic is fear. It can be brought out in many ways. Irrational thought, paranoia, superstition. It could also be brought out by example. And that example is he paints the wall with his necroplasm. These alleys belong to Spawn. That's the boogeyman, and he really does exist. That's what the people think. Fear is running high. So with various files taken from Tony Twist's office, Spawn had begun to piece together each new agency dropping into the mix and how they were targeted in the crossfires. So first he visits Jason Wynn and he tells Jason, well, call off your dogs. Fitzgerald is mine. Back everyone up. I want Terry Fitzgerald to be so squeaky clean they'll want to give him a medal for all this stuff. In the future, you and your people will stay away from him and his family. And if you don't listen to me, I know what makes you tick, Jason. And Jason's like, how'd you know my name? Hey, you know what? What's in this file can really mess up your career politically and for the rest of your life. So stay the F away. And Jason looks in the file and he scans it. And some of the items contained in it, no one else can possibly know. So Jason is going to listen. Now Spawn visits Sam in 4 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the night and tells Sam, hey, I got this file on Chief Banks and he needs to back up off of Terry. Tell him to drop the Fitzgerald case. So give this file to Chief Banks. I hate to see what the media would make of this, of his extracurricular activities. And if he's smart, I won't have to distribute copies. So Sam, he got the message. Now it's time for Vito. Vito Gravano sits sweating in his private sauna. He finds it therapeutic, because it's a sauna. Now Spawn tells Vito Gravano to cease and desist, alright? And I got this file right here. Unless you want the cops crawling up your ass, you'll leave Fitzgerald alone. And in this file, Spawn says the file has everything that lays out your organization's objectives for the next 6 months. So yeah, the cops will be busy all up in that ass if you don't back up off of Terry's ass, alright? And also stay the hell out of my alleyways. Well, Vito has to oblige. So at the home of Terry Fitzgerald and his wife, Wanda Blake, the effects of the Spawn's cryptic visits are discussed in hushed tones. And Terry's like, I just don't get it. The entire city was chasing me down, trying to nail me. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of their interrogation, someone whispers something in the ear and now I'm a non-issue. And Wanda's like, honey, I'm not gonna pretend I know what this is all about. It scared me. I was scared that I was gonna lose you and raise a child on my own. I can't bear that. And Terry's like, I was scared too, sweetheart, and I still am. Someone messed with our lives, then just like that, it's called off. It takes an awful lot of influence to do something like that, and that's what truly scares me. And guess what? Little does he know, he's got Spawn out there just pulling the strings, looking over things. So he stares into the light from, looking into his best friend's house and his wife's house, even though Terry married his wife, and now that's Spawn's house. Hey, you know what? that's just the end of the issue, as Spawn overlooks and sees everything, and he'll worry about everything else as it comes up. But you know what? There's new stories, new battles, and new devils, and new asses to kick. And that is the end of this issue of Spawn. Issue number 24, Spawn's Flaming Sign of Terror, and Spawn's Message to Everyone, and the end of the Hunt story arc. What you guys think of this comic book? Comment below, let me know. Also, link in description if you wish to add this comic book and or some of our other Rated Comics exclusives to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. Lastly, this review is sponsored by coffee, so if you'd like to buy your boy a cup of coffee, link in description, or donate to the Super Thanks. But the greatest compliment you guys can do is by liking this video and subscribing to Rated Comics YouTube channel. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.